Hey everyone, Greg Staley from Diverge Media. Recently, we had a phone interview with the owner of Bread and Barley in Covina, California, about the incident that led up to him blocking in the health inspector and making sure that everyone heard the struggle that he was going through as a small business owner. Make sure to like and share this video and subscribe if you're new to the channel. The interview started with Diverge Media asking Carlos Roman about the incident that led up to that moment where he blocked in the health inspector. He had this to say. That was a very frustrating day. It started out and I got a phone call from my manager, who is also the waitress. Right now, everybody is doing everything. We have a very limited staff. We're really struggling. We're really hurting, and they banned outdoor dining. So here we are doing takeout orders, to-go orders, and people go and they order their food and they sit and they wait. Well, I set up 2 tables under my patio area for people to sit and wait for their food. One couple had sat and they opened up their takeout box and they were picking at their fries or whatnot, and another guy was sitting at the public bench that's in front of the restaurant that's owned by the city. So I get this phone call and she says, "Carlos, someone's out there taking pictures." "Okay," I said. "Go ask them who they are. Just what can I help you with?" She asked him. He said, "I'm with the health department. People are dining outside. You're in violation of the COVID protocols. And I'm going to have to write up a citation. So I'm going to go back to my car and write up a citation." The next piece of information is what Carlos said was his last straw. She called me crying. She was like, "Carlos, I don't know what to do. I mean, we can't do anything at this point." He said, "No one can sit on the public bench in front of the restaurant, even if they're waiting for their food, and I lost it." I said, "Man, this is just overstepping to the point where I've done everything to comply, to the point where I'm complying right off a cliff. I'm going to go out of business because I can't afford it anymore, and here they're going to do this?" It was at this point that the Bread and Barley owner said he lost it. I drove over and I thought, this guy is going to hear everything. He needs to understand. The inspectors need to understand. This is not just doing your job. You're putting people out of work. You're putting people out of business. This is beyond doing your job. So that's what I did. I pulled up behind him. I blocked him. I blocked the whole street. I thought, I want everyone to hear this. I want everyone to know what these people are doing. At this point in time, his waitress came out and began to record the video. Mr. Roman got out of his truck, proceeded to knock on the health inspector's car, and ask what he did to break the law. "Do you mind telling me what I'm doing wrong? How am I breaking the law? How is feeding people illegal? I don't understand what's going on here," Mr. Roman recalled, telling the health inspector. In the viral video, the following can be heard in the conversation between police and the health inspector and Mr. Roman, the owner of Bread and Barley.
So if we can't work, he can't work. This is what happens when people get desperate. I'm desperate. Who's going to pay her car payment? Who's going to pay my cook's rent?
Listen, I will get a supervisor out here for you, but just so it's not hard on us, so traffic can go through.
I want it to be hard on everyone. I want everyone to see how hard this shit is. Everyone that wants to come out here and eat, they can't. Everyone that wants to drive down Citrus and visit one of the restaurants, but they can't. This guy needs to know how hard it is.
He then turned to face the health inspector and began addressing him.
You're out here enforcing, doing your job? Did you get a paycheck on Friday? Did you get a paycheck? My people don't. I bet you got a paycheck, didn't you? You're just doing your job, right? We're all in this together. When I go to the bank, do I tell the bank the health department said it's okay? The health department said I don't have to pay you? The health department said I can't make a living?
Hey, sir.
I can't make any money?
Sir.
Is that what I tell the bank?
The desperate business owner did not relent.
What do I tell my employees? What do I tell my employees? He's out here enforcing it. You don't enforce the fucking rule without any consequences.
Sir.
There's consequences to everything in this world.
Can you come out over here, please?
There's consequences.
Sir.
Do you know the consequences? They can't pay their bills. Me. This isn't about me. They can't pay their bills. The cook just had a baby. He's with his family right now. He just had a baby.
Hey, sir, I'm gonna need you.
The police officer then told the man to step back and said, "You're talking to somebody who's getting orders from a supervisor. I understand you're the owner for a business, but this is not the way to settle things. You can talk to a supervisor." At this point in time, Mr. Roman interjected.
This is not the way to settle things.
What is?
You can talk to a
What is?
supervisor.
What
talk
is?
to John Curley. You can talk
I've
to
been
the
talking to
city.
supervisors
It's
for
not
how
his
long
fault.
now?
It's not his fault.
How long have I been talking to supervisors?
Okay.
I talked to his supervisor.
Fine, let's go step over here so it's not a big deal. Like I said, I don't want to put my
God
hands on you.
damn.
I understand you're upset. A lot of people are upset, but it's unnecessary that you're doing all this, and I'm asking you to move your truck so you don't get a tow, the officer said. This guy doesn't get to do his job all day. He has a job, the police officer interjected. Mr. Roman fired back. Do you have a job? We all have jobs, the police officer said again. Mr. Roman didn't back down and made another important point to the officer on the scene.
We all have jobs.
Are you able to do yours?
I have a job.
Did the health department come and say, sorry, you can't do your
I
job?
don't agree with the things that my job does, but I have to do them, okay? Because I have to provide for my family.
We don't even have a job to provide for our
I understand,
families.
but this is not the way to go about it.
What
okay?
is?
You gotta
Give
move
me a
your
better
car.
way. Give me a better way.
Number one, we can have people from Covina driving by, okay?
Give me
So
a
there's no
better way.
traffic.
What do I do?
The officer told Mr. Roman, you go through protocol. You contact the city. Mr. Roman then brought light to the reality of the situation. In the meantime, what do I do with my building? In the meantime, what does this person who has a job do? What do my employees do? They have jobs. It's the same thing. The supervisor then came on the scene and Mr. Roman moved his truck upon the request of the supervisor. The supervisor began to ask him questions about what was going on.
The issue is, this guy from the health department comes, we can't do outdoor dining, we can't serve food to go, no one can sit outside, no one can sit on the city bench in front of the restaurant. God damn it, what the do they want us to do? We can't survive anymore, man. I can't pay the bills, I'm behind on everything. I can't pay the bills. What do I tell them? The health department told me they have a job to do. Do I tell them bake that? Should I tell my employees that their wage is going to come from, we're all in this together? The health department said so? It's bullshit, I'm sick of it. I have a patio on city property. It's not even my property. And he has to come in, he wants me to be the police. He said if anyone is sitting on a bench in front of your place, you have to tell them to leave. I'm not you. That ain't my job.
The owner of Bread and Barley then asked the officers what the law was. They told him that it was a health department issue. Mr. Roman replied, it's a health issue and I can't operate anymore, man. Desperate. I can't pay my bills. He continued to voice his frustration.
I'm gonna go home, sit in my room, look at my kids and say, guys, it's a matter of time before we start to death. There ain't nothing we can do. We're all in this together. We'll just all starve to death and die. You guys all got a paycheck, right? City budget passed, everyone's got their paychecks. She doesn't. The cook doesn't. My head chef just had a baby. He doesn't know if he has a job. The mortgage, I don't know how to pay it. The power bill, Edison didn't say, hey, have the health department call him. Not once did Edison say, I'll talk to the health department and we'll let you slide on this one. Gas company, water company, no one has told me we'll let you slide. What do I do? Desperate. Desperate.
Mr. Roman, the owner of Bread and Barley, originally employed 14 staff members, but now since the COVID protocols began, is employing just 6 employees. His alcohol sales are just 10% of what they were before all the measures came into place. The alcohol sales are what drives his profit margin. He is losing money and struggling just to stay afloat, like many business owners all across the country and all across the world. Diverge Media asked Mr. Roman how he was feeling about things going forward. We asked him what his outlook was and what his hopes were for the future. He had this to say to Diverge Media. I'm scared. I don't know if I can continue in California at all. I'm so behind on bills. $50,000 pretty much catches me up to current. And they just passed a resolution that there's going to be another 30 days of shutdown, which is going to put me into another $50,000 of debt very easily. So I have to be very careful how I save and take care of this money because that's what I want to do is stay alive. I don't know that any amount of money is enough to do that. This is the reality of lockdowns for small business owners. We can't continue doing this. The effects of locking down business for small business owners and for regular citizens is going to be known soon enough. Less jobs means more people competing for those jobs. More people competing for those jobs means lower income, which means lower standard of living. And also it means less taxable income, which could lead to health service cuts that are the whole crux of the argument for locking things down in the first place. To read the rest of the article, go to divergemedia.ca. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell notification to get updates about our upcoming videos. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.